Alright, so I used to read comics back in the 90s. I used to read Spider-Man, used to read Daredevil, used to read Wolverine, Gambit, a little bit of X-Men, a little bit of Marvel Knights. So I've heard of Ant-Man. I was very much a Marvel fanboy back in the day. Didn't read DC at all because DC comics suck. What? What the fuck? Well, I've heard of Ant-Man, but I never actually read any of it because it just sounded like a stupid thing. Ant-Man, what the hell is that, right? And Ant-Man, really? What? Why? But the moral of the story is never judge a book by its name. So here's the thing about Ant-Man. Now, if you've seen the trailers, then you probably know that it's pretty much a heist movie, but there is more to it than that. It deals with obsession, God complex, meddling in areas that perhaps one should not be meddling in, the good that can come from these technologies, and also the bad that can come from these technologies as well. Now, as I'm not familiar with the Ant-Man universe, I couldn't tell you how accurate it is to the source material. My guess would be that it probably isn't, just based on the fact that these things seldom are. But taking the film just as it is, I thought it was a very interesting story. It was a very multi-layered story as well, which was quite nice to see in a big Hollywood movie. It touches on the complexities of the father-daughter relationship, where you have different types of absent fathers. The humor in this film was just perfect, especially Michael Penner's character. I've seen him in a few different films and TV shows, and he's always just nailed his characters. And in this film, his character, the way he tells the stories and the way the film depicts the stories that he's telling is just so perfect, and it just suits everything from the style of the film to the style of the character. Perfect, just spot on the way that was done. Some of the best parts of the film. And also, Evangeline Lilly is a legitimate badass in this film. Now, if you've seen the trailer, then you know that she trains Ant-Man. So you might be thinking, well, if she's such a badass, why isn't she Ant-Woman? Well, that's part of the multi-layered story I was talking about. There's not really anything I could fault this film on. I mean, sure, it could have gone a little bit deeper with some of the concepts it brought up about expendability, the value of a human, or the physical or mental toll that the technology takes on a person. But in the end, it's just a fun movie, and it's not really trying to make a political or social commentary, at least not in any real meaningful way. But what Ant-Man does different, and in my opinion better than many other films these days that are also supposed to be just fun, is that it goes back to the drawing board. Whereas many other films are trying to be edgy or gritty or controversial, Ant-Man goes back to the basics of what makes a film fun and engaging without insulting people's intelligence. I could also pick out the fact that not everything in the film is, strictly speaking, original. I mean, aside from the obvious, it is based on a comic book, so, you know, it's just not original at all. But it does employ a few tried Hollywood cliches. But that being said, taking the film as a sum of all its parts, overall, the film was excellent. Everything worked. Nothing seemed out of place. Everything gelled together very, very well. And because of that, Ant-Man gets the BH seal of worth seeing in the cinema approval. Boom. So I'd recommend going to see this film either on your own or with people who just know to shut the hell up when you're watching films, because there's quite a few things happening in this film. Although it's not overly complicated in its premise, it's still, you want to pay attention to it. You want to know what's going on. And when you're with people who just talk throughout the whole movie, it's so bloody annoying. And you will miss stuff when you've got people trying to distract you and they're like, oh, what's going on here? Why are you doing this? And what's about it? And just talk about the whole movie is bloody annoying. I mean, it's annoying anyway, but certainly when it's a film that deserves your attention. A film like Ant-Man, I believe, deserves your full attention. And when you got people just with you that's just distracting you from that, it's just not good. So either go on your own or go with people who you know just going to keep quiet and just, you know, watch the film and pay attention and just let you do the same. It's not a good date movie, I don't think. It's not a movie that you want to take a person to on a date, just because the fact that if you're on a date and trying to be all kissy and all that kind of stuff, you're going to miss what's going on the film. And let's face it, when you pay good money to get into a cinema, you want to know what's going on in the film and not be interrupted by all that lovey-dovey stuff, you know. So it's not a date movie. Don't take a date to see this film. Go by yourself or go with people that will pay attention. Or if you do take a date, be prepared to see it twice, because you're gonna be like, oh man, what did I just miss? All the way through, man, that looked pretty cool. What's going on? Oh man, that's and you're gonna pay to see it twice. Really, you're gonna pay. In fact, you're gonna be paying for your date to get in and yourself to get in. So you pay like twice your cinema ticket there, and then you have to go back to cinema again to watch it properly so you can know what's going on. So that's like 3 tickets you're going to buy just if you on for a date. So it's not a date movie. A date movie is a film that you don't really have to pay any kind of attention to at all, because there's just nothing happening and it's just boring and you're never going to watch it again anyway. That's a good date movie. That is not Ant-Man. Ant-Man is a film that you want to pay attention to. So go on your own, or go with people who could shut up and watch the film without interrupting you, and save all questions to the end, after the end credits. I might add, by the way, sit through the end credits. In fact, you should sit through the end credits anyway. I know Marvel have like this famous reputation now of having the secret bonus scenes at the end of the credits, which happens in this, and they're pretty cool. However, even without that, always watch films to the end anyway. All credits need to be watched all the way to the end, because there's a lot of people that go into making a film, and they all deserve their little bit of attention as well. Even if you don't read every single name, just the fact that you sat through it is a good thing. So anyway, enough rambling. Go see this film. It's awesome, excellent. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that.